The observation deck of the Terran Haven hummed with quiet efficiency as Kareem adjusted the atmospheric readings for the third time that morning. His dark eyes reflected the swirling blues and greens of Earth below, a sight that still filled him with wonder after 6 months aboard the orbital station. "The Zephyrians are requesting another meeting with the Council," Salen said, her voice carrying across the deck as she approached with a data pad in hand. Her silver hair caught the artificial light, a genetic trait common among her people, the exiled Valdorians who had found sanctuary here. Kareem turned from the viewport, his expression thoughtful. "That's the 5th request this week. The Galaxy Federation really doesn't want us harboring their undesirables, do they?" Salen's laugh held no humor. "Undesirables. That's what they called my entire species after we refused to surrender our homeworld's quantum cores." She set the pad down and moved to stand beside him at the viewport. "The Zephyrians, the Korthak refugees, the Meridian survivors, all of us branded as outcasts and criminals for daring to resist the Federation's expansion." Below them, Earth continued its ancient rotation, seemingly oblivious to the political storm brewing in the outer systems. But Kareem knew better. Humanity had made a choice that would echo through the galaxy for generations to come. It had started 18 months ago when the first refugee ship limped into Sol system, a battered Valdorian vessel carrying the last survivors of a world strip-mined for its resources. The Galaxy Federation had labeled them pirates and terrorists, demanding their immediate surrender. Instead, Earth's newly formed Stellar Council had offered them asylum. "Do you ever wonder if we made the right choice?" Celine asked quietly, her pale blue eyes studying his reflection in the transparasteel. Kareem considered the question, one that had kept him awake many nights. As Earth's liaison to the refugee populations, he'd seen both the hope and the desperation in their eyes. "My grandmother used to tell me stories about the old days on Earth," he said finally, "about how nations would turn away ships full of people fleeing war and persecution. She always said humanity's greatest shame was when we forgot that compassion was our strength, not our weakness." A soft chime indicated an incoming transmission. Salen activated the communication array, and the stern face of Admiral Chen appeared on the holographic display. "Kareem, Salen, we need you both in the Council. Chambers immediately." Chen's voice was tight with tension. "The Federation fleet has crossed into the outer marker." The chamber buzzed with controlled chaos when they arrived. Representatives from a dozen different species sat around the curved table, beings who had once called distant worlds home, but now looked to Earth as their sanctuary. At the head of the table, Director Martinez pulled up tactical displays showing the approaching Federation armada. "They're demanding the immediate surrender of all refugee populations," Martinez announced. "Ambassador Takara has given us 6 hours to comply or face military action." A collective silence fell over the room. The Zephyrian representative, his crystalline features refracting the chamber's light, spoke first. "We cannot ask humanity to fight our battles. Perhaps it would be better if we—" "No," Kareem's voice cut through the chamber with surprising firmness. All eyes turned to him as he stood. "With respect, you're not asking us to fight your battles. This is our battle now." Salen rose beside him, her hand finding his shoulder in a gesture of support. "Kareem is right. The moment we opened our arms to those the galaxy cast aside, we chose our side." Director Martinez leaned forward. "The Federation has over 200 ships. Our fleet numbers 47. "Numbers aren't everything," Admiral Chen interjected, pulling up Earth's defensive grid. "We have advantages they don't expect. Every refugee population brought unique technologies and knowledge. The Korthak taught us their stealth field generators. The Meridians shared their energy displacement techniques. The Valdorians," he nodded to Salen, "gave us quantum shield technology." Salen stepped forward, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "My people have a saying, the tree that shelters many birds becomes mighty through their songs. Earth didn't just give us shelter, you gave us purpose again." The next few hours passed in a blur of preparation. Kareem found himself working alongside beings he'd only known in passing, their different physiologies and thought processes creating an oddly harmonious chaos. the station's corridors filled with refugees taking up positions, not as helpless victims, but as defenders of their new home. When the Federation fleet finally arrived, they found something unexpected. Earth's modest defense force had been integrated with technologies from across the galaxy. Valdorian quantum shields protected human destroyers, Zephyrian crystal arrays, enhanced targeting systems, Korthak stealth fields cloaked entire squadrons. But more than technology, they found resolve. Federation Fleet, this is Director Martinez of the Terran Defense Council. The transmission crackled across space. You are ordered to withdraw from Earth space immediately. Ambassador Takara's response was predictably arrogant. You harbor criminals and outcasts. Stand down and surrender them or face the consequences. Kareem watched from the observation deck as humanity's answer unfolded. Not in words, but in action. The combined fleet moved with precision that spoke of unity, forged through shared purpose. Ship after ship of refugees and humans fought side by side, their diverse technologies creating a defense that the Federation had never encountered. The battle was fierce but brief. When the Federation retreat klaxons finally echoed across the void, Kareem felt Saylan's hand slip into his. So what now? She asked, watching the enemy fleet disappear into hyperspace. Kareem smiled, thinking of his grandmother's stories and the long arc of human history. Now we show the galaxy what happens when you give sanctuary not out of pity, but out of strength. We build something new. On the observation deck of the Terran Haven, surrounded by the vast darkness of space and the warm light of Earth below, two beings from different worlds looked toward a future where the galaxy's exiles had found not just shelter, but a home worth defending. And in that moment, humanity's greatest truth became clear. They were strongest, not when they stood alone, but when they stood together with those who had nowhere else to turn.